Hello my friends, in this video I'm going to answer a question that I get all the time by Cubase users, and it's these kinds of questions that sometimes I take for granted. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can set up your own custom key commands in Cubase, how you can save them. So let's get started. Like I said, I take this for granted, but Cubase is one of these DAWs where you can customize pretty much everything. After working in studios for so many years and using other DAWs sometimes because I had to, I'm telling you, I was quite surprised on how many DAWs, and especially some really prominent ones, don't have the option to customize your key commands. You wouldn't believe it, but it's true. Anyway, that's not the case with Cubase. Cubase always allowed you to create your own key commands, and it's actually very simple. So let me show you how you do this. And I'm going to give you some tricks along the way so that you can start creating your own key commands in no time. So all you need to do in order to access your key commands in Cubase is go to Edit and select key commands, and this will open the key commands window. Now here is where you can start programming your own key commands. Let's say, for example, that you want to have a key command for the record button. So all you need to do is type record, and this will give you results that have to do with record. So let's hit one more time. See, I have record enable. In my case, it's the R key. I think that's the default as well. So let's see, I can set my record folder, recording editor, activate record enable for all audio tracks. You can do all these things. So actually this is a very good practice. Sometimes I like doing this because along the way I find functions that I assign things to, and this is very useful. But the actual function that I'm looking for is the record function, and this is in the transport menu. And here we go. As you can see, we have our star key on our numeric keypad, but sometimes, especially when you're working on laptops, this key is not there because there is no numeric keypad on laptops. So in my case, as you can see, I've also assigned the dash key on my keyboard to activate recording, which is great because I can have multiple keys triggering the same command. So you're not confined into using one key. You can have multiple keys activating record, for example. And what I would suggest you do is I would suggest you check all those different categories, because you might find a function that you use all the time, and it's very likely that you'll be able to assign a key command in Cubase for this. So for example, in my case, I might want to use the audio align function very often, where you can take a bunch of vocals, have your lead vocal, and have all the other vocals timed according to the lead vocal. In this way, you get really tight vocal comps, really tight vocal harmonies. So if I wanted to do this, I can go to Align Audio and say, okay, I'm going to assign a shortcut for this. So I'm going to click on this empty space, and let's say I want to assign this to Option, Shift, and A for Align. I can hit Assign, and there we go. Now this is assigned, and I can go ahead and use this key command all the time if I'm using this function very often. And there are tons of key commands that you can assign. Check it out. It's endless. If you want to expand all of them, you just hit this plus button right here next to all, or you can collapse all of them by clicking right here. Now, another thing I want to show you, because that's a little bit confusing, is that if you want to assign key commands to macros, then first of all, you have to set up the macro right here. As you can see, I have some macros. I have my de-essing macro, which is for manual de-essing. I still believe this is the best way to do de-essing if you want to have a professional result. I've done a video about this, so feel free to check it out. I'm going to try and link it right here. And this is my de-essing macro. And as you can see, I have several different actions here. Maybe this is going to be a topic for another video, but if I want to assign a key command for this macro, I cannot do it through this window here. If you want to assign a key command for this macro or any one of these macros, you need to go up here, go to your macros, and then all these macros that we have here appear right here as well. So as you can see, for my manual de-essing macro, I have this key command, Control D. And the same goes for every other macro that I have right here. So that's a little tip, because some people go like, how do I assign a key command to these macros? Because there's no way that you can do this. This is the way. You just go to the macro entry right here and you select your macro, you type your key here, and then you just assign it. Now, once you've set up your key commands, I would highly suggest that you go and save them. And this is how you save them. You go here, hit save, you type the name of DOM 2023, Mac, and now I have this preset saved. And as you can see right here, you can find all the other presets that you've saved. As you can see, we have Cubase classic key commands if you want to go into the old days of Cubase, Cubase 5. I have quite a few of my own key commands that I modify over the years. There's also Logic key commands, Pro Tools key commands. These are going to emulate the key commands of a DAW if you're coming from Logic or Pro Tools. If you have your key commands there and you're really used to them, you can adapt Cubase to these key commands. But honestly, I'm pretty sure that you will change all those key commands along the way. Now, after you do this, what I would suggest is that you back up your key commands so that you can use them later on. And I found that one foolproof way of doing this is by going into the Cubase preferences and saving the file. There's an XML file called key commands. The location is different, of course, on Mac and Windows. So there you go, my friends. This was a short video, but I hope it answers the question that comes up all the time. And I hope that now you'll be able to create your own key commands and also store them. Now, when you save this XML file, make sure you save it somewhere safe, maybe in a Dropbox or Google Drive, somewhere that you have access to. And every time you do a new Cubase installation, this means that you'll be able to take it and restore your key commands no matter the case. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, hit the like button or subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to support what I'm doing, you might want to use the super thanks button or check out my instruments, the Modern 80s drum kit and the Apollo expansion for Patch Shop. And another way you can support me is by checking out one of these videos. Thank you so much for watching, my friends, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.